What's going on, guys? Today I have a gameplay from Search and Destroy on Shoot House that I hope you will all enjoy. You're going to want to watch this one until the end for sure. There's a pretty awesome clutch sum round. I won't tell you which round, but I will start off the video with some recent video game news and then get into some believe it or not. So stay tuned. According to Activision's quarterly earnings report, Call of Duty Modern Warfare has outperformed every previous title in the series during the same time frame. This is not surprising. I know Warzone alone has attracted 60 million players so far and counting. I guess lots of people are staying home to play video games because of coronavirus, which isn't surprising. We still do not have exact numbers though, as Activision has not released exact sales numbers for years now. Just know Call of Duty is still extremely popular and the sales must be high. In other news, there's thought that video games might be killing Hollywood. Communication between developers and gamers is usually pretty constant, so games can be made to keep up with trends in the industry and gamer needs. Whereas with production of movies, there's often a disconnect between producers and their audience. A story may be made into a movie based solely on the director's liking to a story. Now I am not saying this is always a bad thing, but game developers seem to cater to their audience better. Thousands of people watch other people stream video games on Twitch or Mixer every day. Even platforms like Facebook or YouTube you can live stream. So it is safe to say movies definitely have competition as the gaming industry continues to grow. Do you guys think gaming will kill Hollywood? Why or why not? Let me know in the comments section below. In these tough times, video games can also promote mental wellness, according to a professor of computer science at the University of Saskatchewan. Playing video games can combat both anxiety and depression while providing entertainment. People can feel a sense of accomplishment by completing challenges, and people can feel happiness through detachment from the outside world. This is important as anxiety has quadrupled and the number of highly depressed people has doubled. Playing video games can make you feel under control, although the outside environment may leave you feeling out of control. So $159.3 billion will be spent on games in 2020, according to Newzoo. Newzoo is a firm that conducts market research and esports analytics. A staggering 2.7 billion people will play games this year. And consoles will be the sector that will continue to grow the fastest until 2023. So there was a patch released yesterday in Modern Warfare that I will now touch on from some general patch notes. So there was tuning to all smoke challenges to be a bit more forgiving. This includes the challenge to unlock the Brune MK9. There was a fix to help prevent vehicle exploits. There were various exploit fixes, including Ground War Infected. There was a game battle fix for a few issues where players might not be able to join a new match. There is reduced fire delay on the lightweight and match grade trigger attachments on all 357 calibers. There's a 357 snake shot damage rebalance, and they fixed the bug where the damage on the 357 snake shot was too high at longer distances. Now in other news, the next Call of Duty game is still on schedule to be released this year despite coronavirus, and everyone is happy that Modern Warfare has exceeded expectations. With that being said, let's get into some believe it or not. The crystal ball was invented not by a psychic, but by a mathematician. His name was John Dee, and he was president of Manchester College in England in the mid-1500s. Used by General George Washington in the Revolutionary War, the first American submarine was called the Turtle. Lightning shattered the tombstone of T.G. Bronwell, who was killed by a bolt of lightning. In England, a black cat crossing your path will bring you good fortune, while a white cat means bad luck.
Yo, what?
Austrian botanist Gregor Johann Mendel, who discovered the laws of heredity, couldn't pass the exam to become a science teacher. In Cornwall, England, there's a pet cemetery with a section devoted entirely to Tamagotchi. Remember those little handheld electronic games? I don't think I ever had one, but they were really popular. So I guess it's kind of fitting to have a burial ground for them. I think they need a virtual burial ground, though. With that being said, for all the Neopets and Webkins we have been neglecting since 2003.
So you have 22 bullets.
In 1991, an appeals court in New York State officially declared a house in Nyack, New York, to be haunted. You could not pay me to live there. The car in which Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria was assassinated in is now in a Vienna museum. The Archduke's assassination started World War I, and since then, the same car was in 9 accidents before it was taken off the road. Alright, here's some more fast ones for you. An empty Boeing 747 jumbo jet weighs as much as 67 elephants. The French TGV regularly reaches its top speed of 320 miles per hour, making it the fastest passenger train in the world. The East Japan Railway is used by over 16 million people each day, making it the busiest railway in the world. An advertisement for bicycles in the late 1800s described them as an ever-saddled horse which eats nothing. Before the invention of the microchip, computers were so big they had to be kept in special rooms. George Washington Carver, inventor of more than 300 uses for peanuts, sweet potatoes, and soybeans, was kidnapped as a baby and ransomed for a horse. According to a decision of the United States Court of Customs and Patent Appeals, an invention is sometimes simply the product of sheer stupidity. In 1947, 2-year-old baby Susie of Yugoslavia fell from a 3rd-story window and landed in a basket of eggs carried by a passing peasant woman. The baby was unhurt, but the eggs got a little scrambled, and that's no yolk. Alright, human hockey puck. Hockey player Smokey Harris survived having his nose broken 7 times, his jaw broken 4 times, his ribs broken 14 times, both knees broken, half a foot amputated, and 100 operations on his head. That is insane. Hockey players are tough, though.
Switching sides.
Now, I remember this story from psychology. So it's called Headstrong. In 1930, Phineas Gage of Cavendish, Vermont, survived an explosion that drove a 13-pound tamping iron through his brain. He lived for 12 years with a 3.5-inch hole in his skull. That's crazy that he even survived that. On March 18th, 1915, Gonzalo Montiel of Mérida, Mexico, survived execution by firing squad, even after the final bullet was fired at close range to ensure a quick death.
One's at our spawn.
You're all that is left.
I'm horrible.
Good shit.
Nice.
Wow.
The fuse has been pulled. Good work.
I know Nick does.
They're hurting. Send them home.
I'm doing horrible.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Wow.
Incredible.
No, honestly.
Yeah, no, he did.
Wow.
Pretty great clutch, eh? Not a big deal. Now, 2 of America's greatest and most beloved presidents are linked by an eerie set of coincidences. A pattern runs through the circumstances of their presidencies and brutal assassinations that hints at some unknown, unexplained connection. So both President Kennedy and President Lincoln were deeply involved in the civil rights issues of his era. In Lincoln's time, the issue was slavery, and Kennedy's, it was segregation. Lincoln's assassin, John Wilkes Booth, was born in 1839, and Kennedy's assassin, Lee Harvey Oswald, was born in 1939. Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy who warned him not to go to the theater that night. Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln who warned him not to go to Dallas. Both were shot on a Friday, both were shot from behind, both wives were present when their husbands were shot. Booth shot Lincoln in a theater and ran into a warehouse, and Oswald shot Kennedy from a warehouse and ran into a theater. Both presidents were succeeded by men named Johnson. Both Johnsons were Democrats from the South, and the Johnson who succeeded Lincoln was born in 1808, and the Johnson who succeeded Kennedy was born in 1908. Both presidents' last names have 7 letters, their successors' first and last names combined have 13 letters, and the combined letters in the names of their assassins' first and last names have 15. That's just bizarre, there's all these coincidences.
One junkyard.
Yeah, I see.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I just wanted to thank you all so much for 100 subscribers. I'm really grateful, and you guys are definitely the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. So thank you so much, have an awesome weekend, and thank you so much for tuning in to watch this episode. Cheers guys.
Using this thing.
Dude, I literally look at him, boom, my life's over.